Ella and the Elevator to the Sky. Once upon a time, in a bustling city filled with soaring skyscrapers and sparkling lights, there lived a little girl named Ella. Ella was not just anyone. She was a girl with an unquenchable curiosity, a heart full of dreams, and eyes that looked at the world with wonder. Every evening, as the sun dipped behind the horizon and painted the city gold and purple, Ella would climb onto her window seat and gaze at the clouds floating high above. Ella often wondered, what's beyond those clouds? What secrets do the stars hold? Is there a place where dreams are born? She would ask her mother, who would smile and tell her, the sky is a world of possibilities, Ella. Maybe one day you'll find a way to visit it yourself. The city Ella lived in was teeming with people, cars, bicycles, and tall buildings that seemed to reach for the sky. Yet, none of these buildings was tall enough to touch the clouds. Ella longed for adventure, longing to soar higher than even the tallest tower. She dreamt of meeting the moon, having tea with the stars, and dancing on fluffy clouds. One bright Saturday morning, as Ella played in the courtyard of her apartment building, she noticed something peculiar. Tucked behind a bed of wildflowers and shaded by the branches of an old oak tree, there was a small rusty door she had never seen before. On the door, painted in faded gold letters, were the words, "Elevator to the Sky." Ella's heart fluttered with excitement. She looked around to see if anyone else had noticed the door, but everyone was busy with their own chores and games. Carefully, she brushed away some leaves and pushed the door open. It creaked softly, revealing a tiny elevator just big enough for her. Inside, the elevator was unlike any she had ever seen. The walls were lined with mirrors that seemed to reflect more than just her face. They shimmered with colors she couldn't name. The buttons on the panel were covered in sparkling gems, each labeled with words like Cloud 9, Star Meadow, Comet Lane, and Rainbow Bridge. At the very top, in the largest, brightest button, were the words, Sky. Ella's fingers tingled with anticipation. She pressed the Sky button, and the doors closed. With a gentle hum, the elevator began to rise. Higher and higher it went, past the buzzing city, beyond the tallest buildings, above the birds, and into the realm of clouds. As the elevator climbed, Ella peered through the glass ceiling. She saw tiny airplanes far below, drifting like toy models. She waved at a flock of geese flying in a perfect V, and they honked cheerfully back. The elevator rose through a thick, fluffy cloud, filling the cabin with cool mist that sparkled with rainbows. When the elevator finally stopped, the doors opened to a breathtaking sight. Ella stepped out onto a soft, springy cloud that stretched as far as she could see. The sky above was a brilliant blue, dotted with twinkling stars, even though it was daytime. Sunbeams danced around her, and a gentle breeze carried the sweet scent of vanilla and honey. Ella wondered, her eyes wide with amazement. She soon met a friendly cloud sprite named Nimbus, who wore a hat made of cotton candy and shoes that looked like marshmallows. Nimbus greeted her with a cheerful grin. "Welcome to the sky, Ella. We don't get many visitors from the city below. Would you like to go on a grand adventure?" Ella nodded eagerly. Nimbus waved his wand, and a path of glittering stardust appeared. Together they skipped along the path, bouncing from cloud to cloud. Along the way, they met all sorts of sky dwellers, a family of friendly moon rabbits who invited them for carrot cake, a wise old owl who taught Ella how to whistle a tune that called the wind, and a playful group of rain pixies who showed her how to paint rainbows across the horizon. As the sun began its slow descent, painting the clouds with shades of pink and gold, Nimbus led Ella to the Rainbow Bridge. The bridge was made of shimmering colors, arching gracefully from one cloud to another. At the center of the bridge stood a shimmering fountain, its water sparkling with starlight. "This is the Fountain of Wishes," Nimbus explained. "Every visitor to the sky gets to make one special wish. Close your eyes, Ella, and wish with all your heart." Ella closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and wished for something wonderful. I wish that anyone who feels small or lonely could discover a world as magical as this one, where dreams come true and friends are everywhere. As she opened her eyes, the fountain's water glowed with a warm, golden light. Ella felt a gentle warmth fill her chest, a feeling of hope, kindness, and endless possibility. It was soon time for Ella to return home. Nimbus hugged her tightly and whispered, "The sky is always here, waiting for you. Just look up, believe, and you'll find your way back." Ella stepped back into the elevator, her heart full of joy and her mind swirling with memories. The elevator descended gently, carrying her past the clouds, the birds, and the city lights until she was back in her courtyard. When she stepped out, the rusty door had vanished, replaced by a patch of wildflowers. That evening, as Ella sat on her window seat, she gazed up at the stars, a secret smile on her lips. She knew that the sky was more than just a blanket above the city. It was a world of endless adventure, waiting for anyone brave enough to dream. From that day on, whenever anyone in the city felt small, or lonely, or in need of a little magic, they would sometimes find, tucked away in unexpected places, a tiny, mysterious door. And if they were brave enough to open it, who knows what wonders they might discover. Ella never forgot her journey. She grew up to be someone who encouraged everyone, children and grown-ups alike, to look up, to dream big, and to believe in the magic that exists just beyond the clouds. And so, whenever you see a patch of wildflowers or a rainbow stretching across the sky, remember Ella and the elevator to the sky. Remember that the world is full of hidden doors, secret adventures, and wishes waiting to come true. All you need is a little curiosity, a kind heart, and the courage to press the button that says sky. In the days that followed her adventure, Ella noticed that the world seemed just a little brighter. She walked to school with a spring in her step, her eyes always searching for the next secret, the next magical moment. Sometimes she would find a feather that shimmered like moonlight, or a pebble that glowed faintly in the dark. Small reminders that the world above was never too far away. Ella became known as the girl who made wishes come true. She helped her friends see the magic in ordinary things, the sparkle in a raindrop, the song of the wind, the warm comfort of sunlight on a chilly day. She taught them how to listen for the laughter of pixies in the rain, or the gentle hoot of an owl when all was quiet. One evening, as Ella sat on her window seat, she saw a little boy standing alone in the courtyard, looking up at the sky with longing in his eyes. She remembered her own wish and smiled. Quietly, she tiptoed outside and sat beside him. "Do you ever wish you could touch the stars?" she asked. The boy nodded. "I wish I could fly or climb up to the clouds, but I'm just me." Ella squeezed his hand gently. "I used to think that too. But the sky isn't just for birds and airplanes. Sometimes it's for dreamers like us." She told him about the elevator to the sky, about Nimbus and the moon rabbits, the rainbow bridge, and the fountain of wishes. The boy listened, his eyes growing wide with wonder. "Do you think I'll ever find the elevator?" he whispered. Ella grinned. "Maybe you already have. Sometimes you just have to look with your heart, not your eyes." From that night on, the boy felt lighter, as if the weight of the world had been lifted from his shoulders. He began to notice the magic in small things, and soon he too became a seeker of hidden doors and secret adventures. Ella's story spread, whispered from one child to another, carried on the wind and tucked into dreams. Children all over the city began to look for the elevator to the sky, searching behind wildflowers, beneath old trees, and in the forgotten corners of their world. Some said they found it in a patch of sunlight, in the laughter of friends, or in the pages of a book. Others said the elevator was a feeling, a flutter in the heart, a spark of hope, a moment when everything seemed possible. Ella knew the truth. The elevator to the sky was different for everyone. For some, it was a real adventure, with clouds and stars and magical friends. For others, it was the courage to dream, the kindness to help others, or the imagination to see the world in a new way. Years passed, and Ella grew older, but she never lost her sense of wonder. She became a storyteller, sharing tales of the sky with anyone who would listen. She travelled far and wide, collecting stories from every corner of the earth, and everywhere she went, she left a trail of wildflowers and a whisper of magic. One day, as she walked through a busy park, she saw a little girl sitting alone beneath a tree, her eyes fixed on the sky. Ella smiled, recognizing that familiar longing. She sat beside the girl and began to tell her a story. And so, the magic continued, passed from dreamer to dreamer, from heart to heart. The elevator to the sky was never lost. It was always there, waiting for the next curious soul to find it. Perhaps one day, you'll be the one to discover a small, mysterious door, hidden in the most unexpected place. And if you do, remember Ella, and be brave enough to press the button that says Sky, because in this world, and in all the worlds above, there are adventures waiting, friends to meet, and wishes to be made. All you need is a little curiosity, a lot of heart, and the courage to dream big. So whenever you feel small, or lonely, or in need of a bit of magic, just look up. The sky is always there, full of wonders yet to be discovered. And who knows, maybe tonight, as you close your eyes and drift into dreams, you'll find yourself stepping into an elevator, rising higher and higher, into a world where anything is possible. And when you wake, don't forget to share the magic with someone else. For every wish, every adventure, every story is made brighter when it's shared. So keep dreaming, keep looking up, and remember, the elevator to the sky is always just a heartbeat away. The end.